Hey everyone, welcome to Tour Validated. My name is DJ Lantz, and today we're doing a performance test with the Titleist TSI3 versus the Titleist TSR3. Now, the TSI3 was one of the most notable drivers last year throughout the PGA Tour season, with almost 19% of Tour players reported by Titleist playing this driver. We had some Tour wins, and you could almost say that this driver was Tour validated. We saw some speed increases in this driver due to the ATI 425 face that Titleist introduced. It's an aerospace titanium made in Pittsburgh. Now, when we move over to the TSR, Titleist is claiming 3 miles an hour faster ball speed. We've seen some increases in the aerodynamics of the driver, as well as the sweet spot being even sweeter due to the speed ring VFT technology. Basically, when you're playing the driver like the TSI3 or TSR3, you're going to hit it on the button a lot more often. So what Titleist has done as they've moved to this iteration is made this sweet spot even sweeter. Let's get into the performance test, see if these claims are true. I know the drivers are good because Tour players are playing them. But before we get into the test, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and then once you've done that, it's time to go. So first up in the performance test, we're going to do Titleist TSI3. We have this set at 9 degrees, 1 click lower, and we're going to use club connects, keep the shaft consistent, so when we test the heads against each other, the variables all stay consistent. We're using Foresight, so we're going to provide the Foresight data for you, and we have the Titleist Pro V1 golf ball. So this will all stay consistent, will give us a really nice head-to-head comparisons. Let's get into it. Titleist always has looked so good to my eye, really clean profiles, but performance-wise, they've never been known as the fastest. But this really changed with the TSI. It really increased speed, I think, with that 425 ATI. Now, Titleist has been known for quality looks, but they've never really been in the conversation, at least for quite some time, as far as the distance goes. But that really changed with the speed project. We're seeing some significant increases in ball speed, a lot of Tour adaptation, and that's always something to pay attention to. What do the guys play that are playing for a living? Titleist had a great performance with the Titleist TSI3 driver last year. A lot of Tour players put it in play, a lot of Tour players won. As we progress here through this test, it's going to be interesting to see how different it is from TSR, because it's always fun to hit the new stuff when it comes out, but how does it truly compare and how much have they built upon the previous model? Because this one really did stick out from previous iterations, so it must be a really difficult one to beat. That should be enough swings. All right, next up we have Titleist TSR3. This is the newest model from Titleist in that driver line, and this is the profile that's going to be most comparable to the TSI3, and one that I'm going to gravitate towards as far as cosmetics go. When you're looking at it from a footprint perspective, so player perspective looking down on it compared to that TSI, I think it's a very similar footprint. However, when you look at the face, there's definitely a little bit more surface area in the face, and they've changed this face with that VFT technology, which has really increased the speed, specifically right in the middle of this driver. So this driver is going to be for somebody who definitely hits it on the button a little bit more. If you're someone who might need a little bit more forgiveness, they've done a great job with the Titleist TSR2. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to stay in the TSR3. So let's see how it stacks up. Definitely a little bit different as far as the audible from the TSI3. It definitely seems a little bit faster. Titleist claim to be faster, straighter, more forgiving. They've really increased it in all these categories, even claiming they can provide up to 3 miles an hour faster from the previous model, which is a big claim in today's driver world. I'm very interested to see how it stacks up exactly against TSI, because we do hit it against a lot of other drivers, but it's not often we hit it from the previous iteration unless it's something that's in the bag, and I wasn't playing the TSI3s. I was a little bit on the toe, so this is a great example of how much ball speed are we going to lose. It's actually not bad at all. Spin stayed in a good spot. That one I probably hit the best out of all of them, so we'll see. See how that one compares. Okay, it's probably enough. Let's take a look at the data. So wrapping things up, you know what? Titleist claims are true. I saw about 2 mile an hour increase in ball speed from the TSI to the TSR. I think that's pretty impressive to see that in today's day and age with how hard it is to increase speed. When we move over to spin, I saw about 200 RPM decrease in spin. I'm in a great spot with where it is in the TSI, but even better with the TSR, and that deviation is even tighter in the TSR, which just leads to more consistency. When we look at carry, we've got greater carry distance, up to 10 yards carry distance is crazy. And then we move over to total distance, we've got 9 yards. Overall, we're just seeing a big increase in what TSR did versus TSI, and it's honestly something I'm gonna consider putting in my bag after hitting it in today's test. So, as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like, and stay tuned. Let me know which driver you're playing, which driver you're considering this season, and we'll see you next time.